Guess we should start introducing ourselves. So I guess I can go first. I'm Shelby, and since I've graduated UMHB, I've gotten married and started teaching. Currently teaching in Southlake, Texas. I teach elective classes and stay busy with my 2-year-old and another daughter on the way.
So I'm Bianca, obviously. I'm in my 5th year of teaching. My 2nd year elementary school. I taught middle school and coached a little bit. I'm in Temple, so not too far from UMHB. Since graduating, I've got my master's at UMHB. I guess I can't leave there, huh? And I have my principal certification. I'm currently in the doctorate program to get my superintendent certification. So yeah, and I recently got married, so that's all I've been up to.
Cheyenne Lansford, formerly Cheyenne Dowdy, and I was a middle at UMHB. And right after I graduated, I went to Texas A&M and got my master's in curriculum instruction. Then I got a job at Angleton High School and have kind of done many positions, head track coach, and now I'm officially the head volleyball coach at the program. And it's a big 5A school. So I teach English. So I have 2 sections of English 3, and then college prep English. So I teach juniors and seniors. And I got married, and my only kids are my 2 dogs. So that's what I've been up to.
Abbey Ball School, and I was at UMHB. I was outside. Ever since I left, got married. I have 2 dog children as well. And let's see, I coach volleyball at high school, Hyde Park, and then coach club here in Austin. I work in the events world. I work a lot of jobs, I just feel like, so I'm always, but definitely staying in the volleyball world and hope to teach the young people to be just like us.
My name is Lauren Briseño, maiden name Powell. When I got out of college, I got married as well. And I actually worked as a graphic designer for several years, maybe 2 to 3 years. And coached volleyball. Kind of got into graphic design a lot. I had one job at TAV and then another at a different graphic design position at a print store. But it just didn't fulfill. So I actually am going back and getting my teacher certification, and I'm attempting to be bilingual certified as well. So that's a challenge, but it's a good one. And I've definitely followed my love for volleyball. I really, really enjoy coaching. I am completely immersed in the coaching world up here. And it's become a huge, huge part of my time spent, a lot of evenings and weekends, but a lot of good work. So
I'm Kendall. I was Kendall Pye when I was here. After graduating, I got my master's at Texas A&M in biostatistics. I then got married, and now I work as a biostatistician for Scott and White in Temple, but I actually live in Georgetown. So I was commuting before we got sent work from home. So I love it.
6 years later. Can y'all believe it's been 6 years?
No.
Gosh, no.
Don't y'all wish we could just go back? Sometimes. All the time.
I do when my team is losing. I wish I could just play for them.
Right?
I'm like, let me show you how this is supposed to look. Move aside. Right. Give me your jersey. Well, you're wearing that number 10 in disgrace. Come on.
What was everybody's favorite memory from that year? I mean, obviously we won a championship. That's a big deal. But does anybody have anything else that they really liked about that year?
Memory is me and Lauren always getting a case of Red Bull to last us a game. and just having to down them, and
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
unhealthy thing we kind of done for our bodies, but for some reason we're like,
Terrible.
this works.
I do not drink Red Bull hardly at all.
So many Red Bulls and shot the body.
That was the first year I ever went on a plane. I don't know if y'all remember that, but
Yes.
I was like scared.
The whole time.
And
So-
to the beach too.
Yeah, and to the beach when I almost drowned. We're not gonna talk about it, but I just remember those moments and us going on the Hollywood Walk, and like it was just such a fun time spending time with everybody.
The Four Seasons.
Oh.
Yes.
We started
Our own
on
base.
the hotel.
And going in with
Oh yeah, you had to give you my headphones because you had to cancel out noise.
And I'm wearing like the
Here.
pants that were flooding by a couple inches. So I'm glad we got to go back. So I actually got to play in California since I missed the tournament the first time. My favorite part was beating UTD back to back at the conference tournament.
Oh, that was very hard to do, but yeah. That was awesome.
I remember Kendall Pie with the floss.
Oh yeah.
I remember a lot of record breaking. I remember when Shy broke the block record. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I forget. There were a couple others.
I remember whenever like it would be the end of practices and we had to scrimmage each other, how serious it would be even though we were teammates. I know me and Shy, like we were roommates, but we were, because we played the same position, we were always opposite. So it's like whoever didn't win that night, it was gonna be awkward silence for about 30
And we were
minutes.
like each other's opposite. So I was really good at blocking. Bianca was good at hitting. And so we would just challenge each other the entire time with a long, awkward, nobody's talking silence on the way back to the apartment. And then when we finally decided we were too hungry to not talk and we needed to make some dinner, then we were friends again. But
Exactly.
nothing was to be said.
Nope.
I'm so happy that y'all were like that though, because it made y'all like make each other so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I was like, B, if you can hit around me, you can hit around anybody. And then I was like, if I can block B, I can block anybody. You know? It was a good challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell my girls while I'm coaching, I'm like, you're never going to get this feeling back. Like nothing in your life will ever make you feel like when you play a 2-hour game against Southwestern and you beat them in 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's a long, grueling match, and how good you feel afterwards and how tired you are. Like nothing is ever going to make you feel like that. The camaraderie that you have and the joy that you have that you work so hard to get there. So I know it's a little depressing, but I always tell them, you know, enjoy the time that you have because, I mean, you could be excited about things in your adult life, but nothing is like that ever again.
Right. For the rivals we used to have, like ETBU, that game was always so intense, especially playing there. It was just a whole nother level of crazy.
Was it you or Bianca or Cheyenne who yelled at her once when they blocked her?
Me.
It was Shy. It was always Shy.
I have a picture of it too. I was like literally the veins coming out of my neck, and it was like a 4 little motion picture
It's our
of me when I landed, and then I turned and I was like screaming.
The ref told you like, hey, you can't do this. You need to turn
because I
around.
landed and I turned and yelled in her face and then turned around after, and the ref was like, you can't do stuff like that. It's like, what? Talk about.
And then Lauren's jumping. Y'all remember Lauren's jumping everywhere? Thumper. I'm surprised you didn't have any knee injuries.
This is kind of talking about like our junior class that year, but Abby, you can totally chime in. That class, our class, really helped build a foundation for UMHB volleyball. Could you feel that as it was happening, or do you have to look back on it to understand?
I could feel it as it was happening. I could see it because of who had been there before us and how it was going before we got there. And, you know, that our freshman year, I mean, all of the core from that class really came in and kind of stepped in and took leadership roles that maybe we didn't think we'd have as freshmen. I don't think we really expected to have those roles as freshmen, but we really stepped into them and filled them pretty quickly and pretty well, I thought. So it was fun to live it. I just wish it would have gone slower. A little more time in there.
Well, as a freshman, I think that our first conference tournament was at Hardin-Simmons, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
And we did not do well. It was pretty bad in reflection. And then every single year after that, it was like every year we did better. We won more games, and we beat teams that kind of had taken us for granted and then earned their respect later on. And then we were a force to be reckoned with in our last couple of years. So I definitely saw it. And I remember doing 10, 20, 30 every day, 10, 20, 30. And I was a middle who never served receive, never got to do serve receive, never got to serve in games, in high school. So I had no ball control. And then every time we did that, everybody's passing was getting so much better. Serve receive was better. So I could feel it.
I think we were kind of forced to grow up a lot our freshman year, being like, we all played and it was fun, but we were so young. And so I think freshman year was like, it was good, but it was still kind of rough because we were just babies. We didn't know. But then I think like y'all said, each year we got better and better. And I think going into our junior year, we were like, this is it. This is our year to win it. And so we had our core junior group, and then we had Abby and we had Tosh, and we knew that okay, we have us, we have strong sophomores, and we have a really good freshman class. And so I think that for me, going into junior year, I was like, okay, I think this is going to be the year.
Me and Abby came in together. Abby was a freshman and I was a junior. I just fall in with y'all sometimes. But, and that's during that sophomore year, I remember thinking our potential was there. We just didn't have everything tightened up yet. And then going into junior year, I just remember watching this practice and how well we played together, and I didn't really expect everything to fall in place like it did, to be honest. I knew we were good, but whenever we I guess made up in our minds that we actually want to do well, that we just played well. I know there are some games I don't remember there being a game that we didn't try our best at and win. Sometimes there was injuries, and I always tell Cheyenne this, because sometimes we'll talk about the glory days, and I think how much it would have progressed, if everybody had stayed that next year, but things happen. But I'm glad that we kind of started that, and ever since it's progressed. And I think, have we gone to the conference tournament every year since? And we've been in some NCAA matches, and I think that I don't know if it was last year or the year before last, they went pretty far. So just knowing that we kind of set the tone at UMHB, this is what we do, I think it's pretty cool.
How much did making the NCAA tournament the year before help set the success of 2014, and what did the team learn from the previous season?
I think consistency. The team we lost to in the NCAA tournament was a team we had beaten twice that season, and we just were inconsistent. We were nervous. It was our first appearance, and it showed. I think after that, we were more consistent. We did things well all the time, instead of just we feel good, so we're playing well. Then if we get shaken a little, we stop playing as well. It just clicked.
We belong here. How did we get this bid? And then the next year we went, we're oh, we deserve this. We're really good. And I think that helped getting that bid kind of helped. We improved a lot throughout the year, but getting it the second time was like, we should not be here. We belong here.
Played Southwestern, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
5.
Yes, and I think weren't we up the first 2?
I think we won the first 2 sets.
Yeah. So
Pretty
that
handily.
I keep that I kept that in my head like that whole summer leading up, and me and Cheyenne would go to the gym and we would like lift heavy. We would be jumping over benches all summer, getting our vertical up, like make sure we're hitting stronger because we knew we should not have lost that game. And so I think about the last NCAA that last year. I don't think we should have lost that game either because I think we lost in 5 too. But we had, I think Abby was injured, right?
When I tore my shoulder.
Yeah, so we had a lot, like we had to push through. We had to push through that year because there was a time Kendall was out. Yeah, I'm surprised me and Shy stayed as healthy as we did.
Yes, all those cookies we ate.
We're the
That's all the fried pork chops that I made you.
Right? she would cook those 24 packs of cookies every night and like force me to eat.
Hey, I finished up what you couldn't do.
Yes.
It was the sugar cookies, like you don't want the ones that got the pumpkin on it.
Those are the best.
The ghost.
I was like bite size. You can eat 20 of them.
Yeah.
And I just
the heck she wanted.
Bianca and I had a mini fridge in our living room that was only soda. Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, Code Red Mountain Dew,
Big Blue,
and Coke.
Big Blue, yes.
Big Blue was only for you. I didn't do that stuff.
But I think when we had the nutritionist come and say, "Oh, you can have a little bit of sugar after the workout," me and Shad
we were like,
took that.
"Yes,
that was a mistake."
Like gummy bears, cookies.
I still think of you, Cheyenne, every time I see pixie sticks.
Heck yeah. I would shoot
Got a
those
pregame.
up in my pregame. Feel good. I remember when Ethan first came to see me. It was my first game, and we had just met, and he came to support me. And he was like, what'd you like pound right before you started playing? I was like, oh, pixie sticks?
The Southwestern game, that was like that one and the ETBU game where we beat them in 4. That was like my favorite 2 matches of all time. And I remember specifically because we were at the Southwestern gym. And I remember seeing Kendall's dad up pacing around really angrily. And then
riding his bicycle down
for a while. Because he was
For the people who are listening to this, they had a stationary bike around their track above the gym at Southwestern. Yes. He did not bring a bike to the game.
Taking out his stress on that bike.
I knew Chuck was going to make it into this conversation.
Oh my gosh. He'll be so flattered, you guys.
He was awesome.
He's a super fan for sure. And I remember connecting with Shelby that game too. Shelby and I were like same wavelength. That was killer. It was awesome. Shoots all in.
It feel to win the conference championship on your home floor?
I still
remember the song that played.
Yes.
Happy.
I remember Kendall played so well that game, and it was just like, it was kind of an outer body experience. I don't remember that game specifically. I just remember the last game that I played, but that game I just remember Kendall was just like, just keep setting her because
killing them.
She's gonna save us.
He was flossing.
Yeah,
flossing it.
She was.
We smashed ETBU that first game. That felt pretty good.
We did.
In 3, right?
It was in 3.
Okay.
Yeah. It was in 3.
You want me to go check the bracket in my garage?
Yeah, go let us know.
MTV Cribs.
You gotta walk us through each step.
It was either 3.
All right, here we go.
I'm pretty sure it was
walk
3.
us through our tournament.
Can I change the... All right, y'all. Here we go. Where are we?
Right there.
Shoot, we had to buy.
Yeah, we had the bye.
Yeah, we had the bye.
All right, so
Oh.
UT Tyler beat Concordia. We beat UT Tyler. We had to play UTD. We had to play UTD. And then that's my handwriting because, my dad had to tag it. So,
I thought we played
Tyler
ETBU.
beat ETBU.
Yeah.
We didn't
That's what it was.
yeah,
Yes.
Tyler, Concordia.
That still felt good.
Yeah, I did.
And we beat UTD 3-1 for the championship.
Wow.
And then we went in 5 the game before that, 3-2.
Yeah, I remember that. That was the game that I remember. Not the championship, but that game before when we played UTD. That was the hardest we had ever played to get that edge up. It was. I remember just going home and passing out and just going to sleep. I was so tired.
That game is usually more of the championship game than the actual championship game.
I was just playing with you guys, to be honest. I know it sounds cliche, but that was I was the only senior and I wanted to end with a bang. And I really didn't, to be honest, when I transferred, I wanted to play and I didn't expect out of myself to play as well as I did. And so just playing with you all, it wouldn't have made it as much fun. All the memories we had.
It was kind of cool to see that we could do something really awesome and something big at a D3. You don't have to go to D1 or D2 to have that kind of awesome competition, that that fire fun you get when your heart skips a beat like that. It stuck out to me. Now that I'm a coach and I'm coaching young girls, they're all very concerned about going to these big colleges and getting scholarships. And it's it's great if you can do it, awesome, but there are great things out there and you don't have to get paid to do it. We all went to UMHB because they had something academically for us, and we could also play volleyball, and that was a huge bonus. At least for me.
That year it was fun because we had such a talented group of athletes. And I think the thing that was different that year is we were all so competitive. Because I feel other years, there was a few who were, all in, and others, weren't. And that year though, it's so hard to teach. And a lot of y'all are coaching, and that's awesome. And that you can't coach competitiveness, or you can't teach it. And so I think that was so important for our group, is that we were all so competitive and we all wanted to win. And we were all so mad if we didn't win. And I think that really helped us that year. I don't know. I think that was my favorite part, how competitive we were, with not just when we were playing other teams, but even in practice every day playing ourselves. We were just cutthroat.
Just awesome being on a team where we could just do it if we wanted to. We beat teams that we shouldn't have beaten. Even not 2014, but 2013, we beat Hardin-Simmons and UT Dallas out in Alpine.
Oh yeah.
For the first time ever, we shouldn't have beaten them, but we beat both of them back to back.
Yeah.
We just could do stuff. It was awesome.
Being on the team, we're all on the same page, and the competitiveness and
all on the same page.
Where'd you get that from?
No, but it was great being on a court and trusting everyone you were next to. It was she's gonna work hard for me, I'm gonna work just as hard for her, and ball's going over my head, I know middleback's got it, or it was just a feeling we were so good and together that it came easy to us. It felt like we worked really hard, but it came easy when it came.
It was so fun though.
This was fun.
Reminiscing.
Yeah.
Glory days.
Now I just stand on the sidelines and I'm what I would give to play. What I would give to do that again. What I would give to compete again. Because I compete in my everyday life, but it's minimal compared to that, you know. My favorite part of every season.
New equipment.
Christmas in August.
Yeah, walking in the
Yes.
I was like, oh.
You got like
all your
two
new
pairs of
stuff.
shoes and a warm-up and shorts and spandex and Mizuno socks and all this stuff you couldn't afford as a poor college student. You were like, yes, this is amazing.
I don't think I was there for the beginning.
That must have been 2015.
Oh,
You have the
yeah.
spider still.
I do.
What is that?
In Coach Frost's office, remember he had that spider in his office?
You had the
No,
spider.
I don't remember that. Ew.
Yep.
He goes, okay, feed him twice a day. And I'm like, huh? What? I'm sorry. Like, no, really, it's dead though. Okay. Caught it in Ecuador, I think he said.
Well, I hope it's dead.
One of those places.
Now it's a disgusting decoration in my house.